At some point in your life, someone looked at something, a cloned animal, a test tube baby, a nuclear bomb, and said those three words, "That's playing God." But here's what nobody tells you. Humans have been playing God since before recorded history. We have been reaching past the boundary between what we're allowed to create and what only God is supposed to. And we have been failing spectacularly, succeeding terrifyingly, and occasionally drinking mercury until we died. This is every way we tried, and what it cost us every single time. The emperors who drank death, trying to live forever. The oldest attempt to play God didn't happen in a laboratory. It happened in a cup. For thousands of years, across virtually every civilization on Earth, the most powerful people alive shared one obsession, a substance, a potion, a drink that could defeat death itself. The Mesopotamians called it the plant of life. The Hindus called it Amrita. The Chinese called it the golden elixir. Different names, one prayer: let me live forever. The earliest written account appears in the Epic of Gilgamesh, a king terrified of death who journeys to the bottom of the sea to find a plant that grants immortality. He finds it. A serpent steals it from him while he sleeps. The oldest story ever written about human ambition ends in failure. That should have been the warning. It wasn't. Chinese emperors across multiple dynasties commissioned alchemists to produce elixirs using mercury. The logic was simple. If gold never tarnishes, perhaps drinking gold could make the body never tarnish either. Instead, it killed them. The first attempt to play God ended with the most powerful men in the world dying from their own medicine. The alchemists who accidentally invented science. While emperors were poisoning themselves, a parallel obsession was consuming the best minds of medieval Europe and the Islamic world. They called it alchemy. They believed a human could unlock the fundamental code of creation. Their goal was the philosopher's stone, a substance that could turn metal into gold and grant eternal life. They never found it, but in trying, they accidentally invented chemistry. The quest to play God gave humanity the tools to understand reality itself. Sometimes the wrong goal leads to the right discovery. For centuries, the ambition was aimed at substances. Then it turned toward something far more dangerous, human beings themselves. Eugenics was the idea that humanity could improve itself through selective breeding. It was taught in universities, funded by major institutions, supported by respected scientists. In the United States, over 60,000 people were forcibly sterilized. Then it spread. Adolf Hitler studied these ideas and used them as a foundation for Nazi racial policies. What began as science turned into one of the darkest chapters in human history. When humans decide who deserves to exist, they don't choose wisely. They choose conveniently. The atom bomb, power that belongs to stars. In 1945, something changed forever. In the desert, humans unlocked the energy at the heart of matter, the same force that powers the sun. The atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki killed over 200,000 people. For the first time, playing God didn't risk individuals. It risked everything. Human extinction was no longer a theory. It became a possibility. Dolly, the sheep with 3 mothers and no father. In 1996, a sheep named Dolly was born. She looked normal. She wasn't. She was the first mammal cloned from an adult cell. She had 3 mothers, no father. Out of 277 attempts, she was the only success. And even then, she aged faster and died early. Even copying life comes with a cost. CRISPR, the scientist who edited 2 babies in secret. For most of history, DNA was fixed. Then came CRISPR, a tool that allows humans to edit genes like text. In 2018, a scientist secretly edited the DNA of twin girls before they were born. They became the first genetically modified humans. The scientist went to prison. The children are still alive, and we don't know what happens next. Transhumanism, the last attempt. Every attempt so far tried to improve the human body. This one tries to replace it. Transhumanism is the idea that humans can become something else, merging with technology, defeating death, and achieving digital immortality. It sounds like science fiction, but parts of it are already happening. From emperors drinking mercury to edited human genomes, the impulse has never changed. Every civilization has asked the same question. What if we didn't have to accept our limits? Sometimes that gave us science, sometimes destruction, and sometimes consequences we still don't understand. We have always reached beyond the line. We have always paid the price, and we have never stopped reaching. If this made you think, share it with someone who still believes we know exactly what we're doing. Subscribe for more stories that go deeper than the headlines.